last night that, looking back at the season so far, that Anthony's been even better than she could have imagined. I don't know. How can you assess what it's been like to play 60 games with them so far versus what your expectations were?
It's everything I expected and more. That's why, that's why I wanted him here. And when you get a generational talent like that and you have an opportunity to get him, just try to do whatever you can to try to get him. It's no surprise to me. I already knew how incredible the guy is. He had 50 in the All-Star game.
That was Dave McMenamin asking the questions. This is Brian Windhorst answering these. And Wendy, you've known LeBron forever, and right now on ESPN.com you have an article about the way that LeBron has approached this season with the Lakers differently. What stands out for you about this version of LeBron?
Just about everything. At age 35, he's completely inverse so many of the things that he didn't like to do in the past. Number one, he's playing full-time point guard. This is something that he was totally against when he came out of Cleveland to come to L.A. He's willing to do that. At times this year, he has been completely supportive of management. This is a guy who at midseason, even when he's on championship teams, has said, we need to get better, and I hope the organization is not settling. This year, he says, we have enough. He has completely supported Frank Vogel in his first year as coach, and he has a long history, Greeny, of not supporting coaches in their first year, whether it was Mike Krzyzewski with Team USA, Eric Spoelstra, certainly Luke Walton, David Blatt. He's always been a rocky start. He's been supportive of Frank Vogel since the start, and it's really led to a very peaceful, very successful regular season for the Lakers.
Yeah, and they're playing great. They have the best record in the West. But looking ahead, we're going to find out a lot about them now, because while their record is second best overall in the league, over the course of the next 7 games, they've got extremely tough competition, and you see it sitting there. They got the Bucks, they got the Clippers. Just this week, they got the Rockets, Nuggets. They play the Jazz twice. So what do you believe, Wendy, we will learn about these Lakers during this stretch?
Boy, do I think that game on Sunday against the Clippers is the most important one of those, because, look, they lost to the Clippers with Kawhi Leonard last summer. They lost on opening night. They lost on Christmas Day. They lost on Marcus Morris. They lost on Reggie Jackson. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that they have to do anything in the regular season, that winning in the playoffs 4 times is all that matters. But boy, would it be nice to put up a W against the Clippers. Also, the Clippers' full squad has yet to lose. And if the Lakers could come in against that full squad and deal them their first loss, that would be...
The Bucks tonight, and we just mentioned Victor Oladipo out with the knee. Giannis will be playing, so that's exactly the opposite situation for when these teams played last month and Indiana won. What can the Pacers do tonight to try and beat Milwaukee again?
Well, Greeny, first and foremost, it's going to be a tall order. I mean, you're talking about the Bucks. They've struggled the last few games. They'll be very motivated. But if you're the Pacers, you got to take a look at the Heat's game plan against this Bucks team. Was very tough. I mean, they just loaded up in transition a ton on Giannis, forcing other guys to try to make plays. And to beat the Bucks, I don't care who you are, you have to have a huge night from the three-point line, in my opinion.
Bucks have not lost back-to-back games all year. That loss against Miami did open up a lot of eyes, but it was their 3rd game in 4 nights. Let's go to the second game of our doubleheader tonight, Chauncey. Zion against Luka. So that's obviously a lot of star power there. It's the first meeting between these two. What do you want to see from Zion in his first ever second game of back-to-back?
Listen, first and foremost, I just want to see Zion. I just love seeing him on the floor. He's box office. He's balling. I expect him to just continue to keep getting better, keep staying patient, keep playing good team basketball. He plays the right way, Greeny, and he shares the basketball. He's explosive. We know that the skill set that he has. I mean, I just want to see him continue applying pressure to the NBA.
And then we're going to see Luka dealing with a sprained thumb. He went just 1 of 8 from 3 in a loss on Monday against the Bulls. It's a remarkable. What do you want to see from Luka tonight, and how significant do you think this matchup is for these two young players whose combined age is 40 years old?
Well, first and foremost, these two dudes will be the future of the NBA. When the LeBrons and the KDs end up hanging up their shoes, it will be these two young guys that will be leading the charge and continuing to be great. Tonight, Luka, it's a big game. You know, they're still fighting for playoff positioning, still trying to, you know, establish themselves as a very tough team. And it's all about Luka and what he's able to do. I'm sure he'll be special and probably get a triple-double, as usual.
Yeah, and it's a huge night for the Pelicans, who fell 4 games out of the last playoff spot. Chauncey, we'll see you and Dave Pash and Cassidy Hubbarth on the call for the game tonight right after SportsCenter here on ESPN. Great to see you again. Meanwhile, we're just getting started on this edition of SportsCenter. Coming up, much more on the brewing NFL battle for Tom Brady. PTI's bonus segment discusses where they want to see the six-time champ finish his career. Plus, as the Lakers get set to begin a crucial stretch, we'll have Brian Windhorst with details on what we're about to learn.
Sixers. It was round 4 of the imitation game. B.A. had a 2-1 lead, but not anymore. Max is nice. Back to back. Let's take another look at what won it.
2 games apiece.
Give it. Yep.
And again, we implore you guys, if you see their imitations and you think you can do better, tweet it, IM it.
The run. Back, though.
NBA on TV.
Just won it right here.
Oh, man. It's so good. Shout out to Max is nice. All right, so we're 2-2, Shaq.
2-2. Come on, B-Dot.
Dwayne Wade is diabolical for that Shaq lost at Pet playoff.
Real friends pay their bets.
Ooh, Michael Valdez when Shaq goes home tonight.
That's the best one tonight.
Okay.
That's good.
Congratulations, Mr.
Appreciate
Valdez.
you, Mikey.
Shaq waiting for a good tweet. Curry's mouth guard. He's not impressed.
I don't believe you laughing at that.
I think you lost a lot of faith in our viewers.
No, not the viewers, just the people. Can somebody please hurt me?
Coming up next on the Kia postgame show, you are going to
Somebody please make me walk off the set tonight. I want to tweet so bad. I'll just see it and read it. I'll just walk off the set. Go home crying.
Make it happen.
I dare you.
NBA fans from coast to coast are searching for that wanting to be in the know at all times in real time. Your search ends here with the NBA app.
So what do MVPs eat before a game? Brendan, what does he have here?
Looks like with some fruit, pineapple or something.
Looks like fruit.
Yeah, he got some fruit.
What was your pregame meal?
Fish fillet. Fish fillet? No, I'm just playing. I did when I was young, but I steak and pasta, veggies.
Steak and pasta, man. It would be whatever. I never had a certain meal.
Well, if that was a Greek salad, for him it would just be a regular salad, right?
I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
Welcome to the warm-up presented by Ford.
We're
Chris
going to
Miles
work on
here.
that. We're going to work on that.
You're the comedian in this thing, right? I'm just trying to work on it.
The delivery was okay.
Brendan. Yeah. Well, 9 games tonight. Let's look into some of the matchups. Jump right into it. The Celtics and the Cavs, one of their early starts. Celtics on the second night of a back-to-back after losing in Brooklyn. Gordon Hayward, Jaylen Brown, Kemba Walker all sitting this one out. Jason Tatum is playing though, Smitty. Celtics haven't lost 3 in a row all season. Is that in jeopoly tonight?
Yes, it is. Because the last 2 meetings they were up 17, up 21 against Brooklyn. They've lost, and both those games went overtime, but having so many people out, I have the Cavs squeaking this one out.
Brendan, like the Celtics, the Thunder are playing the second night of a back-to-back. They're looking to bounce back from losses to the Clippers and the Bucks. Those 2 teams clearly title contenders. Do those losses tell you anything about OKC's postseason?
I think it tells us what we already knew. The OKC is having a phenomenal year, but when they play against the elite teams, especially when we look for them in the playoff series, they're probably going to struggle, be a one-and-done type of situation. Won't take away from the fact that this team has totally exceeded expectations and they're way ahead of schedule.
Bucks hosting the Pacers tonight. Victor Oladipo out for Indy. Milwaukee coming off back-to-back games in which they set their season low in scoring, 93 against Charlotte, 89, and a loss to Miami. Smitty, are you expecting Milwaukee to bounce back tonight against Indiana?
I am, and I'm expecting that guy to have a huge one. Over 30 points, over 10 rebounds, and I think also because of his play, other guys get easy shots, so I'm going with the Bucks beating the Pacers on this one.
Bucks haven't lost back-to-back games all season, responded to win by an average of 17 points per after a loss. The Heat, the only team to beat the Bucks twice this year. They host the Magic tonight. Miami has won 3 straight against current playoff teams. Brendan, are you buying the Heat as a team team that could reach the Eastern Conference Finals?
I am not. I like the Heat.
Go ahead.
But when it comes down to a secondary star, which is what you normally need in the playoffs, I really don't see one. I like Bam. I think he's come a long way. But, man, if Jimmy Butler's having an off night in the playoffs, I'm not really sure who the Heat turn to. Love this young team, but I don't think they're going to be a team that makes it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
The Grizzlies and Nets play tonight. Karis LeVert dropped 51 last time out. Both teams in similar positions in different conferences, fighting for playoff positions. Smitty, will both the Grizzlies and the Nets make the playoffs?
I think the Nets make the playoffs. The Grizzlies, they have a tough schedule. If they do, it will be remarkable what the Grizzlies does. But they have the hardest schedule since the All-Star break. Don't think they'll make it, but they've had a fantastic year.
Last but certainly not least, the Pelicans versus the Mavs, or shall we say Zion versus Luka. The Mavs have beaten the Pelicans by an average of 25 points per game this season, but Zion didn't play in any of those games. Smitty, does he make that big of a difference for the Pelicans to win tonight?
Yeah, I think so, he would, because I think, one, they don't have anybody in the middle. I love Porzingis. He's going to have to absorb that blow by Zion Williamson if he's guarding him, but Zion will definitely make a difference. The game will be much closer than those blowouts.
Yeah, I agree. I think Zion definitely makes a difference. Just when you watch him play, he just has a huge impact with the way he's able to take up space, and he forces defenses to do things differently. You can't just switch every pick and roll and think, oh, well, we're not going to be punished for it because Zion is so big, fast, strong, and athletic inside. He will take advantage and dominate against smaller players every single time.
This is the first time that Zion's going to play on the second